Okay, this is the boundary. Okay, thank you. Good morning, guys. Good morning. So today we have a cloud jam, and there is a huge cloud, dark cloud there, right? So we had, I think, 150 registrations, but God's cloud is spoiled is Google's cloud, right? So God's cloud is more powerful than artificial cloud we created. Okay. So how many of you are actually in analytics? Before I start, okay, so I know some faces. Okay. And how many of you have no idea about data science, data engineering, ML, AI? Okay, good. So I think those who know, this will be like a revision for you. So I will be trying to really, generally I take 3 hour session, but I will try to really wrap up my Asharam Bapu session in 30 minutes, right? So just to build up a base before Sukanya takes over and starts hands on, right? So my topic is demystifying cloud, AI, machine learning, deep learning, data engineering, and people keep on getting confused. Even those who are working in data science, sometimes I find them difficulty struggling. What is data science? What is AI? How AI is playing a role in data science? How data engineering is different? And everybody tries to really define these terminologies in their own way, right? Sometimes they have more experience, so they bring more biases, and sometimes they really read some stupid blogs, so they really try to really define their own definitions. So I'll try to really make some attempt in terms of really trying to further confuse you about these terminologies, right? And in this whole process to give you some thoughts so that you can really think over it. Okay. My agenda, who we are, right? Since we are hosting, so I need to really talk about what we are, right? And then we'll talk about AI and data science, data engineering and all those stuff. Who we are. So we are one of the rare institutions in this country which started with industry and academia partnership, right? And the first one was Bharati School of Telecom as a part of IIT Delhi. So Bharati supported IIT Delhi, they started telecom school. That was around 2001, 2002, Bharati supported us, and that's how we came in existence. So all these years we kept ourselves away from any UGC or AICT or so-called bureaucratic system, and that has made us agile, and that has made us developing programs which are suitable for the industry, right? Because things are changing very fast, and you can't really wait for AICT or university to really react in terms of changes, and by the time program becomes redundant, and most of us we know, we are aware of that. We also part of National Skill Development Corporation, and today I am proud to say yesterday Telecom Sector Skill Council and Telecom Manthan has awarded Aegis for our contribution is building up a skill ecosystem. We also organize Asia's largest innovation award called Aegis Graham Bell Award, and that is where like we give recognition for innovators, those who are doing innovation in AI, machine learning, deep learning, telecom and all those areas, right? So you can really go and check Aegis Graham Bell Award. We also organize Data Science Congress, and this year Data Science Congress will be in the month of October. That's again Asia's largest Data Science Congress. We have proud association with NVIDIA, AWS, UBTech, which is a leading robotics company based in China, valuation around $5 billion, and of course IBM. So we married IBM in 2015, seeing the success with Airtel, and our babies are healthy out of this marriage. They are earning name for themselves and making money as well, right? So we were the first one to start data science institute in this country when none of the bloggers and even magazines were aware about the data science. And I'm not talking about 100 years back, I'm just talking about 2015. It looks like 100 years, right? So this is the first program we started, postgraduate program in data science, business analytics and big data. I'll be talking about these terms. We started cyber security program which is running out of Bangalore. This cyber security program has a lot of other things other than ethical hacking and pen testing, right? Because now the world thinks that ethical hacking is cyber security, which is not, right? So this has got the machine learning, Python, QRadar, it has got network security, cloud security, app security, right? All those tons of other stuff. We also started first program of India, which is postgraduate program in applied AI, machine learning and deep learning. There are a lot of common things among data science and applied AI, but applied AI is targeted for typically software developer, those who want to really build applications without going much deeper into the mathematics, but mathematics is going to really chase you, is still there. We'll still teach the mathematics some part. We started full stack development because everything whatever you will talk about, whether it is blockchain, whether it is say AI applications, the base is of course the software, right. We also started postgraduate program in blockchain this year, but the postgraduate program in blockchain prerequisite has got the full stack, right. So, if you do not know the software development, you can't really build a blockchain applications, right. Okay. So, let us come down. So, since we are host, our marketing is over about Aegis. Now, let us come down to agenda. Okay. So, why we are here, right. So, all of you want to really upgrade your skill. Why you want to upgrade your skill? Stay relevant, right. Okay. It is important for you to stay relevant at your age, right. There is a study which is conducted by NESCOM, EY, and this study last year only this study was conducted. This study says there are roughly around 600 million people work in this country out of 1.3 billion. Now, out of this 600 million people, 9% people, those who are carrying whatever the designation today, these designation will not exist in by 2020, right. Let us roughly take it 9 to 10%, right, calculation easy ho jayega. So, 10% of 60 million is how much? 6, right, kitna hua? 60 million, right. So, 60 million is how much in crores? 6 crore, right, which is like combined Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore and Pune, right. They will not have any job, right. It is a very serious thing. There are roughly around this number 37%. These are the guys, whatever the designation they are carrying, right. So, maybe you are carrying software developer designation, your underlying skills will change, right. So, no more only PHP or Node.js will really help you to really survive in the market. Perhaps you need to really acquire skills like machine learning or deep learning or some other stuff to really make the smart softwares, right. If you combine these two numbers, 37% plus 9% is how much? Okay, let us take 50%, calculation mein aasani hogi. 50% of 600 million, 300 million people, right. What is America's population, by the way? 350 million, right. What is Russia's population? 150 million. What is Canada's population? 33 million, right. 300 million people will be undergoing a drastic transformation in terms of skills, right. जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं पैर के तले से जमीन निकल जाना, right, and that is what precisely is going to really happen. Now, do we have to really wait 2020 to? No, started already happening. How many of you heard about data science jobs say 5 years back in India? There was no job, there was no program. How many of you heard about deep learning engineer or data engineer or computer vision engineer or those kind of jobs? Were non-existent, right. Alexa skill developer, and every day new jobs are coming, right. So, the point is taken, you know this. I just try to really put some numbers so that you become serious about that, right. But you are here in this cloud rain, that also itself shows that you are serious. Now, let us see darker side we have seen, let us see about opportunities, right. So, 2 days back this number was given by Times of India that 1 million jobs will be created in cloud, directly or indirectly, right. Today almost 80% of the world's startups are on the cloud, right. We will see what cloud is. Almost 1.4 lakh jobs will be in data science, AI, analytics, this area. This is NESCOM's report. Our own analysis at Aegis is roughly today, as on today, there are roughly around 28,000 jobs are available in data science, AI, machine learning, unfulfilled jobs, right. Means all of you can really have 50 or 100 jobs, right. This is the shortage shown by Hindu 80%. This is something very important, right? This 1.5 million data scientists by 18. This is like a old story by McKinsey, right? How much truth is there in this story, we don't know, but 80% of the applications will have an AI component by 2020, right? This is something important. What it means? How many of you working in software in development? Okay, 2. And how many of you working in sales or marketing or any other area? Finance. Okay. And how many of you are planning to get into software development? Okay, few. Okay. So whether you're in finance, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in sales, whether you're in software development, now this is something very significant. IDC, almost every CEO, every leader in tech or non-tech, they refer to IDC reports, and this is significant. 80% of the applications, whatever you will build, whether it is a financial application, whether it is a core tech application, everything which you will be building will have some or other degree of intelligence. Do we have to really wait for 2020? No. If you go and check on YouTube, if you start searching for crime patrol, the YouTube will start showing you the crime patrol. If you start searching for Rihanna song, YouTube will show you the Rihanna song. You go on say search for some flight, and then every website you will open, the Clear Trips advertisement will start chasing you, right? So all these things were the softwares, right? YouTube, earlier age YouTube was a dumb software, right? Now it has become a smart software. Now Microsoft is working to really include AI component in PowerPoint. Otherwise, this PowerPoint is a dumb piece of software. I keep on running the same PPT hundreds of times, and still I have to really change the PPT. Maybe after a year or two, it will really change automatically. So every application which you are building, like Ola, Uber app is what? It's a piece of software, right? For your parents, it is a piece of software, but these are the intelligent smart softwares. And if you have to build those smart softwares, you need to really bring certain degree of intelligence, and this intelligence will come in the form of artificial intelligence, right? Why artificial? Because our intelligence is natural, and we want to really create applications which will mimic the human intelligence, right? Fair enough? Now, we recognize all those technologies. It looks like 100-year-old technology, right? These are the key things, the blockchain and all other stuff, but these are the key things which has brought actually disruption, right? We agree? There any disagreement on this? Okay. When was the internet started? That was in India. So 83 internet was started, and mobile internet started in 99. All right, 99 is not long back. Right? When was mobile started? Commercial 2G services. That 95 was India. 2G services was started in 90. Right? 90 was not pretty long, right? Most of you were born that time, right? So in 91 I joined my engineering, right? So it's not pretty long back, right? When was this cloud came in existence?
2006.
That was the AWS started, right? But Salesforce started way before AWS started. When was that? Roughly around 99, right? So most of these things actually started happening in 90s, right? Commercial usage of internet when was started? In mid 90s and late 90s, like eBay, Amazon, all these companies, Google was started in 99, right? So most of the things actually started when most of you were born, and I was just about entered in my engineering and about to get out of the engineering, right? And that time things have started changing. Machine learning, AI were in development in the university labs and lot of companies lab in mid 50s, right, but nothing significant actually happened. All these things started surfacing and companies realized the importance of all those stuff when the internet boom started, and in fact the burst happened in 2000, right, and then the companies started seeing the traction and they realized that they need to really bring in automation. Like Google was not knowing how they have to really, how they will make money, because by just showing the search you can't really make money, you have to really serve the ad. Now today it looks like a pretty common sense to us, but that time it was an invention that how you will make money. And if you have to really make money by serving the ads, you can't really serve the ads manually, right. And if I have to really serve you the ad like Facebook, when was Facebook started? 2005, right. Okay, so when that social started, right. So when Facebook really serves you the ad, Facebook need to really know everything about you. So Facebook essentially need to become your mother, right. So your mother has already stored the data even before you was born. So today if you don't like paratha, mother will give you poha or idli or any other thing, right. And this is the same phenomena just like a Google or Facebook does, right. So Google and Facebook, they have a huge insight about you because they have the data, and based on that data they can really serve you the ad. But the key is they cannot really serve the ad manually, they have to really serve the ad automatically, and that is how the AI and machine learning and data science came into the existence, right. But when you have to really store the data, huge amount of the data, you cannot store the data just in servers, because servers cost a lot, servers are nothing but gold bricks, and that is how big data came into the existence. In 2006 duck cutting actually invented Hadoop, right, and that is how the big data started. And then Yahoo built the world's largest big data infrastructure in 2009, right, and that is how the whole big data boom started, right. So all these things, whatever we are seeing over here, this has come in last 20 years only, and last 10 years, last 1 decade, this has started really growing exponentially, right. Now what is cloud? There is fantastic video by the way on YouTube, right. Some revenue commissioner was explaining cloud, go and watch that video, right. That will really clear your concept. Some of you might have seen that. What is cloud? Okay, so cloud is just like electricity, right. So you don't produce electricity, all of us, we don't produce electricity at our home. Way back people used to really have the generators, and every factory used to generate their own electricity, which was inefficient way, right. Every company used to have their own data warehouse, right, and they used to really have servers, which was inefficient way, right, because you need to really have the manpower, and then you need to really have the infrastructure, which is pretty costly. And the companies like Salesforce, companies like AWS, Google, Microsoft, they thought about that this is not efficient, and they created like just like electricity, centralized electricity generation, and then you consume and then you pay the bill. And the same model they deployed into the cloud, right. So they said, okay, what we will do, we will create data infrastructure, right. So cloud is nothing, it's basically servers connected over the internet, right. So cloud has never born if there was no internet, right. So essentially these are the servers, right, and not necessarily they are the server grade hardware, right. If you go on EC2 in AWS, you will find in fine print they have written they use lot of commodity hardwares as well, right. So these cloud will also have GPUs, CPUs and commodity hardwares and server grade hardware, which is like a gold bricks, right, and they are connected over internet. And what they give you? They give you the computing power, they give you the bandwidth, they give you the resources, they give you the CPU, and now they have started a lot of other services, right. Like today Sukanya will be talking about to you how you can really use Google's Vision API, right. So even if you don't know the machine learning, you can actually use the Google's Vision API, and then you can really call it an app, and you can really see whether this is a cat or a dog, whether this is a male or female, right. You can use OCR services, you can really put the document or images, and it can really read the text out of that, right. So tons of services these cloud providers have started. So initially they were just offering you the compute services, databases. Now they have started offering the services like big data services, machine learning services, AI services, data science services, right, which are key players. So, AWS started in 2006, Google started in 2010, Microsoft Azure started in 2010, and now you have Oracle and all other players, right. IBM offers Bluemix services, right. So, if you go on all these, so most of these services are common, right. Some services are better in Microsoft Azure, some services are good in Google, some services are better on say Watson, right, IBM's Watson. So, they have started offering these services. Essentially, they are giving you a platform, right, on which you can really build the applications fast, right, whether it is web development, whether it is running big data, whether it is doing data science, whether it is building up a ML or AI application, anything, right. And you have to really simply pay as you go, right. So, pay whatever the services you consume, just like electricity, right. Make sense? Okay, fantastic. Okay, any of you use any kind of Google or AWS APIs in any of your applications? No, right. So, there is a fantastic API offered by IBM Watson, which is called personality profiler, right. Now, what it does, say for example, you want to analyze people based on what kind of essays they are writing, right. So, for example, a lot of universities, they ask you to write SOP, right, statement of purpose, right, or about your failures, right. So, what you can really do, you can really take the text and put into this personality profiler, and this personality profiler will give you the profile about your personality, that what kind of person you are, whether you are a fake, whether you are introvert, extrovert, and all those kind of stuff, which is good for you for any kind of selection, right. Lot of companies are using Google APIs, which actually converts your text into speech and then do the sentiment analysis and try to really create your profile, right, that what kind of person you are, which lot of HR companies are using while selecting the candidate, and lot of startup has used it. So, you do not have to really, because if you are to really build this kind of services, not only you need to really know natural language processing, you need to know machine learning, you need to know how to deploy these models at a large scale, you also need to really know that domain, right. And analyzing people's personality and profile requires a in-depth understanding about psychology, right. And most of us has got no clue about psychology, even we can't spell it correctly, what is psychology, forget about knowing the psychology, right. Although in our own sense we are great psychologists, right, all of us, but their psychologists, those who have invested their life and they have built up profiling, and all these guys together they have built those kind of stuff, which is years of work, which is available to you on click of button, right. So, companies like Facebook, companies like Google, whatever the text you are putting in your email or on your Facebook, they are able to really build the personality profile, and they do not care whether you are introvert or extrovert or whatever. What they care, what you will buy and what you will not buy, and how you can be influenced. So, this personality profiler you should go and try. You can just note down Watson personality profiler, right. So, you find some kitchen philosophers on your Facebook group who writes every day some philosophy in morning, right, half a page, just copy his text, put it into this personality profiler, and it will give you the idea that who this guy is and what he will buy, whether he will buy a bicycle or whether he will buy a BMW, and how you can influence him, whether he will be influenced by social media ad or friends or whatever, right. Similarly, tons of APIs are available. I talked about Vision API, right, NLP APIs. So, tons of text to speech, speech to text, tons of APIs which are available. Video analytics APIs are available, like Microsoft Azure, there is a video analytics API. So, you really put a video and then it can really give you the complete analytics, right. So, these services are available. So, these services are good for even those who are trained data scientists or trained AI guys, those who want to really build it at a large scale, or even the software engineers, those who have no deeper level of knowledge, they just simply want to really build. Of course, professionally I am against just simply using the API without understanding it, because you don't know what this black box is doing, right. So, you need to really go deeper into the mathematics, and we will talk more about that. What is AI, by the way? What is AI? Okay, fantastic. Anybody else? That you can emulate some behavior in even dog, right? Dog goes and catch, right? You throw some disc and dog goes and catches, right? Is emulating some human behavior. Any other thing? Something can think of their own. Okay, fair enough. That perhaps will happen in next 50 years, 100 years. Machines cannot think at their own at this point of time. It's only sci-fi. Huh? Pattern recognition. Okay, fair enough. So, artificial intelligence is more of a philosophy, right? It's a more of a philosophy of bringing machines closer to the human being, right? And putting lot of human behavior characteristics into machine, which is like their ability to learn, ability to reason, ability to read, right, ability to think, and all those kind of stuff, right. But more than philosophy, AI is basically combination of multiple technologies. And how do you really achieve this objective that machines start behaving like human being? You can achieve it by empowering AI with multiple technologies. So, AI standalone is nothing, right. It is a mythical thing. There is nothing called AI. AI is a composition of multiple technologies. Which are these technologies? So, if you want to really train a machine to detect whether it is a cat or a dog, just like your mother has trained you, right. So, how do you really know that this is a black and this is white? Because your mother has trained you, right, and your father has corrected the model, right. Model validation correction is done by your father, right, in brute force, right. So, mother have shown you cat and dog, and that is how you learn. So, if you want to really train a machine whether it is a cat and dog, you give 100 pictures of cats and 100 pictures of machine, and the machine will learn. When I say machine, is basically computer, right. And now this computer is on cloud, right. So, you feed the images, it will learn, and this capability comes from the machine learning, right, and deep learning is a baby of machine learning, is a subset of machine learning. Now, if you want to really make machines to really read, just like all of you can really read, right, you want to give this capability to machine. This comes through the NLP, right. NLP is a subset of AI, and AI is a subset of computer science, right. You want to give machines a capability to really speak, right, just like Sophia and Pepper, they can really speak and they can really answer your question back. So, they hear your speech, convert it into text, and then search back and then convert that text into the speech, right. These technologies were developed in IBM Research Center, now they have patented, and now a lot of companies are using it, right. This is also part of AI, right. And then vision, right. So, you want driverless car to have the human like vision. So, if there is a dog crossing, the car need to stop. Now, this capability, human vision capability, you want to transfer to the machine. This comes through the computer vision, which is like analyzing the video or images, right, fair enough. And then robotics, you want machines to really dance like a human being, just like a Pepper does. This comes through the robotics, right. Now, there are a couple of techniques which are also used in data science, right. Which are the techniques used in data science? Except robotics, most of the techniques of AI is used in data science. And what is data science? Is simply analyzing the data and making sense out of the data, right. So far, we were only analyzing the structured data, which is a row column data pre 2000, and post 2000, since we have to really give relevant ads, right. We started analyzing lot of log data, text data, video data, images data, and lot of other data. And pre 2000, neither we had techniques, we had theoretical concept, but we did not have the computing power, neither the powerful algorithms to really actually analyze those kind of stuff. So, post 2000, business analysts and data analysts, they started analyzing this unstructured data as well, and a large volume of the data, right. And they started using most of these AI techniques, right, and that is how AI and data science married, right. So, AI and analytics when marry, they become data science in a higher level, right. Lot of business analysts are also using machine learning, but they are not using NLP and computer vision techniques because they think this belongs to somebody, some computer science. Now, today all these APIs have made it so easy that you don't have to really have PhD degree in computer vision to actually use vision capability and analysis of the data, right. So, all these techniques you use to build products, at the same time you use to really analyze the data. Clear? Okay. What is machine learning?
predictions of the data.
Okay, वो तो पंडित जी भी करते हैं.
Not explicitly coding
Okay.
the task to be done, like it learns from.
Okay, so there are 2 or 3 kind of definitions we can really see, right. So, statisticians will say machine learning is all about statistics, right. Glorified statistics is the machine learning, because you use 50% of the time you will be using regression, and regression was there in machine statistics for last 200 years and borrowed in machine learning in just recent years, right. So, for statisticians machine learning is glorified statistics, right. There is a computer science guy, software developer, who does not understand maths, right. For him is to really actually develop a software without rewriting the programs, right. So, how do you really design write a program to detect a spam, right. So, all these years software engineers are writing programs which are rule based programs, right, and still we are doing it. What is rule based? So, if you find a word which a subject line, if subject line is have money or a lottery, right, you term it as a spam, right, you classify as a spam. Now, spamsters will figure it out, they will use some Diwali greeting, right, but inside there is a spam, right. So, they will keep on figuring and you will keep on chasing them and you will keep on putting those rules, right. So, rule based softwares in a modern world is not possible, right. How do you really distinguish between two, a cat and dog, right, and a dog and cat size is same. You have seen those bonsai dogs, right, their size is like a cat. Rule based, if dog is like this and cat is like this, you can really actually write a software, rule based software. If x is greater than y, right, x should be dog, right, and y should be cat. But how about immediately if you find 2 dogs and cats of same size, your rule will collapse, you can't really actually distinguish. So, rule based softwares are not scalable, right, and you cannot really comprehend the world with the rule based software, and that is how the machine learning based softwares has come into the existence, wherein these algorithms they learn based on the data, right. So, they go through the spams and they go through the non spams, and that is how they learn at their own, right. You show them the images of cat, you show them the images of dog, and they will learn the pattern, right. They will try to really figure it out themselves whether it is a cat or a dog, right. Right, and you can really give labeled data or you can give some unlabeled data, right, and that is how supervised unsupervised learning falls in this category. So, there are three definitions. Statisticians is glorified statistics. For software developer, you do not have to really rewrite the code, and for data scientists, it is a way to really predict the future and find the pattern in the data, right. Clear? Okay. So, with machine learning you can do couple of stuff, you can find couple of answers, you can do infinite things. You can really find couple of answers like whether it is a Ramlal or Shyamlal, whether it is cat or a dog, which is called classification problems, right. So, whether it is a white shirt or a green shirt, whether this cell is having cancer or a benign cell, right. So, this kind of answer you can find with machine learning, right, which is called supervised learning, because you will have labeled data, right. The other kind of answer you can find with machine learning is basically finding the number, right, kitna deti hai, how much rain Mumbai will have this year, right, or next year, how many years the underground water in India will deplete, right. What will be the India's population, what will be the stock price next Monday for Tech Mahindra. So, anything which involves any kind of number, you use regression techniques, right. Regression is a part of statistics, fair enough. So, anything which is related to number, you apply regression. Anything wherein you have to really classify, you apply classification algorithms. There are tons of algorithms, and the third is basically segmentation, right. So, you want to really form the groups, right. So, if say for example to a kid, if you give him a red ball, green ball and white ball, instinctively this kid will really separate those balls, right? And this is called not classification, this is called clustering, right? This is in marketing, this is called segmentation, right? So, if I give you a data of say 350 million customers of Airtel's customers, and you can apply a clustering algorithms, and based on that it can really form the groups which are similar in their nature, right? So, it may be similar in their purchase power, similar in their consumption pattern, right? So, it will formulate the groups those who are high data usage and low data usage or medium data usage, right? So, it can really form the groups. The other thing it can really do, it can really find out whether this is a normal behavior or a weird behavior, just like a credit card transaction, right? So, if you have been doing the transaction of 5,000 rupees and all of a sudden you did the transaction of 50,000 rupees, you will receive a call from the bank, right? It is basically to find the anomaly, right? The other kind of it is used basically in reinforcement learning, wherein it is used for the gaming and it is used for the driverless car, right? Which is works on the reward and penalty, right? Fair enough, right? So, these are the couple of answers you can really find in business, but you can really build millions of products using machine learning, right? Okay, what is data science? All of you heard about the sexiest job of 21st century. There is nothing sexiness in this job, it is a messy job, right? The only sexiness is only money, right? Rest everything is horribly bad, right? Okay, so this is couple of definitions, two definitions I like. Data science is all about making the sense out of the data, right? Even dog makes the sense out of the data when it crosses the street, right? You have made the sense out of the data, how much time it will take, whether you will reach alive or you will be dead reaching to Hiranandani, right? If you have 100 rupees, you will not go and do the fine dining wherein you have to really pay 5,000 rupees. So, all of us we analyze the data. Why this data science came into so prominence? The reason being humans are extremely good in terms of really taking the decisions, right? But we rely only on the data which is stored in our head, right? So, today you have joined this study exam because you wanted to really have the data about information and data about the how to use Google Cloud, isn't it, right? So, you want to really share the knowledge, you want to really acquire that data. So, in last couple of years we have a huge number of the data, and then we are also businesses are expanding in multi geographies. For example, if you are a manager marketing in Bombay, you are born and brought up in Bombay, you understand what people like and what people do not like. So, if you have to really spread the shops of say vada pav, you know that everybody in Mumbai likes the vada pav and you can really open the shops. But how about if you have to really open the shops for vada pav, Jumbo King appoints you the head for India and you have to really open the stores in multiple cities, and you have never traveled to Sikkim and you have not gone to down south, you have no idea whether people will like and whether people will not like, right? Imagine in some other case like you become the head for MACD for global operations and you have to open stores in like 250 countries. Will you be able to really rely on the data and the knowledge which you have gathered over here in Bombay or working only in India? No, it is not sufficient data, and that is where you have to really take the data in consideration which is not in your head. Moreover, this data is not with your company, right? So, if you have to really open stores in some other country, you need to really get the data from third party sources, which could be blogs, which could be like a food site, which could be travel sites like a Swiggy or Zomato kind of sites which are working, right, which will give you some data that what people like and what people do not really like. And that is how data science became important, right, because you are managing and analyzing not only the small structured data which we were analyzing pre 2000, you are also analyzing the large volume of the data and variety of the data, right, which could be image, which could be text, which could be video, which could be sound, which could be anything, right, and that is how data science became prominent, right. Okay. Data science is also about automating this analytical process, and that is where data science actually gets into the territory of AI, right. So, like for example, recommender system. So, when you go on Flipkart, you search for a red shirt, it gives you red shirts, it will not give you a white shirt or a black shirt, right, because it behaves like a human being. But at the back end, it is also analyzing the data, right. So, data scientists, they have converted this whole analytical process into automated process. Fair enough? And for that they use the machine learning. Clear? And that's where a lot of data scientists, they get into the territory of AI guys. So a lot of AI guys can really consume the API of Google or AWS, which is ready API for building up a recommendation system, and they can really build without actually understanding what recommender system is, right? But data scientists will be far better than pure AI guys, those who do not understand the math behind that. They can really fine tune and they can really build at a scratch. They can really also consume the APIs. Fair enough? Okay. What skills you require to be in data science? You need to really know the domain knowledge, you need to know math, stats, probability and all those kind of stuff, and you need to know machine learning, and you need to know tons of IT tools, which is R, Python, Julia, Hadoop, Spark, right, Python, and they keep on coming and they keep on going, right. How to do machine learning over AWS or Google or Azure, those kind of stuff, right. Where it is applied almost in every industry, be it government, be it manufacturing, be it telecom, be it IT, almost every industry it is used, right. What is the difference between data science and AI? Actually, I explained you, right. So, data science uses lot of AI techniques, right, except robotics, right. Fair enough? Okay. What is the difference between data scientists, business analysts and data analysts? Data scientists are Iron Man and they are like prehistory guys, right. There is no offense to business analysts and data analysts, right. Don't come and beat me, right. Lot of data analysts and business analysts, they have grown themselves and acquired lot of skills on deep learning and machine learning, right. Fair enough? What is data engineering? Sukanya will be talking about data engineering, right. So, I thought let me give you some idea about data engineering as well. And some of our recruiters this season, they actually hired data engineers and they paid them huge money, right. And some of the guys actually got more money than the data scientists. What is data engineering? Okay, so I heard that you are joining as a data engineer. Yeah. Okay. Can you explain me what is data engineering? Okay. Quite theoretical definition, building a pipeline. How many of you understand what is building pipeline? वो plumber pipe लगाता है घर में पानी लाने के लिए. What is building pipeline? Yes, you are right.
Transfer the data from like source system to the like when we give the data scientist to massage everything with the analyst or analytics.
मेरे को हिंदी में समझाओ यार, थोड़ा सा plain layman language में समझाओ कि what is data engineer, what is data science. This is all I have also written those definitions, right. I want to understand at a concept level what data scientist, what is data engineer and what is data scientist. Can you give me some simple analogy? All of you are right.
Data in multiple sources. So
Hmm.
it's essentially you gather data from multiple sources and you feed it to your system. That is where data engineer would go.
Okay.
Data scientist would later on gain insights from data, do
Okay.
data analysis.
But a lot of data scientists are also doing this job of data engineer as well. Because if you really take a wrong data, your model will not really work and you will lose the job and nobody will really hear that, sir, वो तो data engineer ने गड़बड़ कर दिया, मैं क्या करूँ? Okay. So I'll give you analogy. So it's just like a home, right? Okay. So the foundation is data engineering. If there is no foundation, you can't really build a home. Right. So if there is no data infrastructure, so data engineer's job is to build data infrastructure. What is data infrastructure? Data infrastructure where you can store the data. It's simple, right? House is built on the foundation. So first foundation will be built. To give you example, one of the company Ion Infotech, right? They are the leading ISP in Bombay and Bangalore. They approached us almost 3 years back and they wanted us to do the churn prediction. What is churn prediction? Which customer will leave, why they will leave, right? And this is a large scale machine learning problem. They wanted us to really do churn prediction. We visited, our director Dr. Kulkarni, Professor Minta and myself, we visited over there. I have a background in telecom and this is a telecom company. We visited, we analyzed and we realized that these guys, they don't have the data infrastructure. They are running on SQL servers, 15 SQL servers, and they write query in night and then morning they take the report. because in daytime if they really write queries, servers will go down, right? So we said, okay, forget about this churn prediction, let us first build the data infrastructure, let us build the data reservoir where you can really store the data. So we built data reservoir on cloud using Hadoop and Spark, right, which took us almost 3 to 4 months time. And once we created the data reservoir, which is like a foundation, we started taking the data and we did dashboarding job. We still didn't start the machine learning because जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, because we wanted money, right? And top management will not understand what is churn prediction, right? They want to really see कि अभी कितना customer है, कितना bill दिया, कितना revenue हुआ, कितना customer add हुआ, वो visual अच्छा दिखता है ना. So we created dashboarding for next 2 months, and after almost 7 months we started machine learning job, which is churn prediction, right? So if you don't have the foundation, if you don't have the infrastructure where you can really store the data, and you can store the data in MongoDB or SQL, right, or on cloud data lake or S3, right. So there are tons of stuff which is there, right, which Sukanya will also talk about how to really do data engineering in Google, right. So all these clouds are also offering you these services, right. So you have to really first store. So data engineer's job is to build that infrastructure, manage that infrastructure, so that data scientists or business analysts can really start using that data, right. But having said that, a lot of companies in India, startup companies, are expecting you to really know data engineering as well. You may not be the expert, right. So today's North America, this is not the case, right. But in India, as a data scientist, you also require to understand SQL, big data and all those stuff, because you will be accessing the data from SQL. The world still works on SQL, it does not work on the big data, Hadoop, right. You should be able to really access the data from SQL, run queries, right. But data engineering, if you want to really make career in that area, you have to really go deeper into that, and you have to really have very strong programming language experience, right, and very strong on database, ETL and all those kind of stuff. Fair enough? Okay. So there is some common skills in data science and data engineering, right, and machine learning falls in between, right. Today most of the machine learning engineers job are basically data science jobs, and most of the data science jobs are machine learning jobs, right, because in machine learning they also ask कि domain knowledge चाहिए. Machine learning में domain knowledge को मिला दो और mathematics मिला दो तो वो data scientist बन जाता है, right. So you don't have to really go on these JDs. The common skill sets are common in almost all the jobs. The first thing is linear algebra, statistics, mathematics, machine learning, R, Python is superseding R, right. And now they started asking about your ability to execute these machine learning models on AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, right. That is addition. And then some understanding about Spark MLib or Spark and Hadoop as a big data infrastructure and SQL, right. So these are the common set of skills which is needed by everybody. Depending on the job, the knowledge degree changes. Like for example, if you are going for a data engineering job, your understanding on SQL and Hadoop on 10 skill should be roughly around 7 to 8. If you are going on data science job, your mathematics understanding and machine learning understanding on 10 skill should be say roughly around say 7 to 8, right. You cannot really clear interview on 2 skills. So these knowledge depth varies, right, on each skill, but all these common skill sets are almost every job, at least in Indian market. In North American market, which is pretty mature because they don't have to really build the data infrastructure, already data infrastructure is built. Already they have been using machine learning models. So if you go and pitch for some machine learning model, they will say, okay, we have been doing the churn prediction, our accuracy level is 85%, can you really bring it to 87%, and how you will do that? So they have the different level of talk, right, fair enough? Okay, any questions? Okay, good, thank you so much, Sukanya, now all yours, right. Okay guys, so have a good time in this Google study jam, right. Okay, so don't jam your brain, open your brain, learn these things, and only caution, just don't be happy working on API level only, because this time we have seen in interviews which I have not seen in like 3 years back. 3 years back, anybody who knew M of machine learning, D of data science used to get the job, and recruiters used to come and ask me, sir ये तो बता दो आपके बच्चों से पूछे क्या, right. Now today things have changed. Now today they are not only happy with your project, that you say okay sir मैंने ये facial recognition का बनाया, I have used the deep learning and all those stuff, CNN मैंने use किया, no, they will drill down that why you have used, right, why you have not used SVM, right, and then you explain me what is logistic regression, right, you explain me mathematics behind that, what is sigmoid function. So recruiters have become quite demanding, right. They are not only happy that you are just simply using the APIs. You can survive if you are in existing job, right. So if you are a software developer, you just use a learning API, your boss will be happy, will give you the promotion. But those who want to really start your job into this area, alone learning on API will not really help you, right. You can really invoke your interest because you have studied a lot of theory and you have not seen the magic what these theories can really do. That's good to really start from there, but you have to really go deeper into that, right. Fair enough guys? Okay, thank you, have a nice day, bye.